Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our next panel session, which is on a CXO food panel on food processing and untapped growth opportunity. And it will be my honor to welcome the honorable panel members on stage. So please help me welcome for the next panel session, food processing and untapped growth opportunity, which is a CXO food panel session. The honorable panel members joining us first, and please help me welcome with a big round of applause, Mr. Gulrez 𝐼𝐴𝐿𝐴, Managing Director and Founder from NBF Agro and Foods. A big round of applause to Gulrez ji. Welcome to the stage, Gulrez sir. Please have your seat. Joining next in this panel, we have another industry veteran, Dr. A.K. Tyagi, Executive Director from Haldiram Snacks. A big round of applause to A.K. sir. Tyagi sir, welcome to the panel session. Indeed a pleasure having you. Joining next, we have Professor Komal Chauhan, Dean Research and Outreach from NIFTEM KUNDLI. A big round of applause to Professor Komal Chauhan. Komal ji, welcome to the panel session. Please have your seat, ma'am. Joining next in this panel, we have Mr. Shammi Agarwal, Director from Pansari Group. A big round of applause to Mr. Shammi Agarwal. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next in this panel session, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ashok Bansal, co-founder and CEO from Myints Gourmet Services. A big round of applause to Bansal sir. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. So all over to Ashok Bansal ji for moderating this panel, but I just want to tell to the honorable panel members and to the audience that Mr. Vipen Jain, CEO and founder of Fitspire, he is also going to join the panel session. He just informed us he's running a little late, so he would be joining in the next 10 minutes. So I request Bansal ji, if you could kindly accommodate once he's there, and we will like to welcome him and join the panel. He's running 10 minutes late, he informed us. So all over to you, Ashok ji, and looking forward to a great session.
Thank you everyone. Let us start the panel, and a brief one-line introduction about all of us with respect to what we are doing, and then we plunge into the discussions. Dr. Komal.
Very good afternoon. I'm Dr. Komal Chauhan, Dean Research and Outreach at NIFTEM, National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management. It is an institute of national importance situated at Sonipat, KUNDLI. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm Shammi Agarwal, Director of Pansari Group. We are into edible oils, rice, spices, and we have across India network. At the same time, we do HoReCa products for seasoning, syrup for many institutions like Nestle, Parle, and Haldiram is one of those as well. So yeah, and it's been a great journey. It's a third generation business, and things has been really nice. We keep on innovating with whatever the customer demanding, whatever the customer demands are. So yes, myself Shammi Agarwal from Pansari Group. Thank you.
Myself, Dr. A.K. Tyagi, Executive Director, Haldiram Snack Private Limited. Haldiram is the Indian global brand, and we are diversified in many products, just like a traditional snack, western snack, frozen food, and namkeen, and QSR also, quick service restaurant. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Gulrez 𝐼𝐴𝐿𝐴. I am Managing Director for NBF Agro and Foods. And I have been associated with food business from last 30 years. We have been into processing food, we have been into livestock, we have been into dairy, we have been into edible oil, we have been into commodity consumer products, so and also retail, so of all sorts, and also we supply B2B raw material products to food companies and processing. And having diversified experience into technology as well, which has been a driver of our success. So that is how I would summarize my journey of entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This is Ashok Bansal. I have around 25 years of experience in the industry, in the corporate, and then 4 years back, I became an entrepreneur, and today we are into gourmet food processing for the healthcare and hospitality sectors. Let's plunge into the discussions. CXO panel for food safety. All of us here are expert CXOs. Now, what does food safety need? leadership, teams, technology, customer pull, regulations. We'll delve into each one by one. The first, let's go into the leadership aspect. How important is leadership to enforce or ensure or comply with food safety? Frankly, coming from the corporate and now an entrepreneur, I can say it with full responsibility that any leader, any CXO who says that he has never managed the system is lying. Yes, strong leadership is required, but whether strong leadership is required to manage the system and increase your revenues and take your company to profitability? Or does it need more regulation or stricter enforcement? और या फिर इंडिया में ऐसे ही चलेगा? Complex topic, everyone knows the answer. But where exactly is the line between practicality and leadership which can take us to food safety? Dr. Tyagi, you having the maximum experience amongst us all, we would really like to understand the practical aspects. Yes, leadership is important, but where lies the balance between the theoretical leadership and the practical leadership? कंपनी तो बंद नहीं कर सकते 100% कंप्लाई करके. सॉरी,
कंपनी कभी बंद भी नहीं होती फूड सेफ्टी से. आई विल गिव द एग्जांपल. द फूड सेफ्टी टॉपिक had played a significant role basically after Corona. But if you go the 40 years before, when this food safety not implemented, FSI also not started the before 40 years. So I am giving the example of the Haldiram. Before 40 years, we are providing the Golgappa in packaged water. It means before the 40 years, Haldiram concerned with the hygiene, concerned with the food safety. So we have taken the food safety topic 40 years before. This is the food safety. Now we come to the leadership. Our management, because already this doing the food safety from the last 40 years, so it is a mindset. It is not a strong leadership or good leadership. It is a basically mindset that how you want to go with the food safety. Because this is a investment and this is no major ROI. So you have to understand, we have to invest for the customer and we have to invest for the long-term goal. So it is a investment. If we take the example of maybe 15 years before, we have put X-ray machine on each and every line to take the control of the food safety. 15 to 20 years before, we have put the metal detector on each and every packing machine before 15 to 20 years. However, we have more than 300 packing machines in one plant, and we have the many plants. So we know what is the investment. But when we treat customer as a god, this is our philosophy. This is the Haldiram philosophy. We treat our customer as a god. So we never take any cost angle in terms of the food safety and quality of the product. So in my opinion, or in my organization's opinion, the food safety is on the top priority, number one. And secondly, it is a mindset goal, and our management is very clear that we never compromise on the quality at any cost. We can increase the rate, or we can optimize the rate, or we can leave the order, but we never compromise on the quality and food safety. So food safety, if we summarize the food safety, so there is no ROI, major ROI. It is a mindset of the leadership. It is a long-term organization goal. But if I take the experience of my company, I am associated with Haldiram since last 18 years. And I am associated with the food company since last 40 years. So food safety will play the critical role for increasing. If you take the indirect benefit, it increases the sale. It will increase the confidence of the customer. It increases your brand value. If you combine this indirect cost, so whatever cost you are putting for the food safety is a peanut. So this is our thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tyagi. Shammi, you would like to say something on this. And more on the practical aspects of it, Where lies the balance and where the leadership should actually evolve and change with the times, so that there is a balance between satisfying the needs of the customer at an X price point and yes, complying with the food safety norms.
I think, as Dr. Tyagi said, the food safety is basically a hygiene factor, You have to, it's like a mandatory thing. Maybe it's a value thing, it's a culture thing. But now it's just not about the food safety. Culture, the customers demanding are more. They are more health conscious now. They are more prone to, after Corona, COVID time, everybody wants stronger immunity or maybe stronger health system. So as a company or as a food company, it's our responsibility or it's our, it's our moral responsibility that we should be, it's way beyond it. Food safety is a hygiene factor which every food company has to do it. But what are you offering other than that? Like for example, in Pansari, when we have rice, so we do fortification of rice. We add extra vitamins, minerals in the rice so that malnutrition in India comes down. So these are the few aspects which as a company or as anybody who is associated to food, they have to give extra to customers. I think your question about food safety these days is basic. When I say basic, it's like all the policies, all the parameters are pretty old. When I say it's old, it's like they are not improvising on the things which could have been. Like as Dr. Tyagi said, they are following few systems since last 15 years. But food safety have just drawn the line in last 5-6 years. So as a brand, as a Pansari brand, so we do all those measures, not just about food safety, about the health consciousness for the customers, what extra can we give with respect to health, because health is the only aspect in which none of the income bracket customers want to compromise, be it a rich income bracket, be it a poor person, but nobody wants to compromise on health. Everybody wants to have a clean water, good food at the end.
Thank you. How relevant are customers' demands? End of the day, all of us as customers are paying, and that runs the show, that runs the companies. Yet, someone who is paying for it, is he relevant enough? Now, before I really put this question to the panel, I'd like to give 2 examples. The 4 biggest failures where customer demands messed up the company. Frito-Lay, a very famous brand of chips, they launched plant-based biodegradable food chips packet. An utter failure, utter loss to the company. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, in 2023, they declared as the world's biggest disaster plant-based meat. Heinz ketchup, they launched wonderful customer pull demands. They did a survey, and based on that, they launched a couple of brands like Funky Purple, Blasting Green. Well, they went red. Colgate launched frozen lasagna brand. Now, lasagna, everyone loves it, but Colgate launched frozen lasagna brand. Very healthy, utterly failed. Now, let me take us to another survey. A survey across 100,000 customers and done not in India, but in Holland, where we expect, possibly more rigor in such surveys. When the customers were asked how keen you are, how interested you are in to know where the raw materials and ingredients and the food is coming from, the results were startling. 48% customers said, I don't care. In the breads and cereals category, everyone is consuming a bread. But out of 100 customers consuming the bread, only 4% said, yes, we would want to know where the ingredients are coming from. In dairy, 3%. Only in case of meat, the result was 24% that, they said, if we know, it is better. But yet, you can see, 48% customers said, I give a damn. So, how relevant it is, how relevant is the customer demand and pull to force the companies to adopt higher safety norms? Gulrez, you would like to answer that?
Yes, Bansal, I would like to take that, and very relevant what you've spoken. I would like to go a little deeper in the points what you've mentioned as a reference of the surveys conducted, just not in India, outside of India. Those surveys are very well referred to, but in the Indian context, it is not very relevant because India is beginning its journey in processed food. And if you would want to say about Indian consumer demand and play, it's very, very different from the Western stabilized markets where the consumer is much, much aware compared to India. India, the processing market, the processed food market is not more than 20% on the overall.
Well, even in the
88%.
developed market where the consumer is more aware.
So let me complete. So in the 20% market where we are in the processed food, it's just the beginning. I'm talking about the only relevant areas where we are supplying that. I'm talking about the entire processed food ecosystem, where from a parle biscuit which goes into a village to everything which goes into a packet to every household across India. It's not more than 15 to 20% in between range in processed food. It's a long journey for India. And having said that, the regulatories like what we have seen in the previous presentation of Madam, that how important is the regulatory framework of the government of India is going to play a vital role. And it's the duty of the industry as well as the government bodies together to make the consumers aware. See, until the consumer is aware of a quality and as a reference point, he will not be able to differentiate. India, many good companies like what my partner panelist has spoken about, Haldiram, the good intent of a leader is what drives the entire ecosystem. If the leadership is the key of the organization, if you are in the food business, you have to ensure that the consumers have a good quality product. Safety is one aspect of it. Quality is another aspect of it. Put together is what has to be served to a consumer. Now, coming to a point, how consumer is aware, not aware, he will be aware of a product if he's experienced it. And industry is the only thing which drives the awareness to the consumer. Until and unless you produce a product and the consumer is consuming it, it's available for him, how will you expect him to experience and make a choice between a good or bad product? Everybody here on the table, on the audience, has a water bottle. 30 years back, would you imagine having Bisleri bottle on your table and drinking? Today, if you go and somebody comes to your table now with a filthy glass of water splashed outside on the border and gives you, would you pick that bottle or this bottle of water? Tell me. A bottle of water. Because you are now aware, you've experienced it, and you want to have that consumer product which makes you feel good, better, and you're sure that it is good quality. That confidence is only going to come into consumer when he experiences the quality product in his hands and has consumed it himself or herself. So it's a longer journey to play. So all my audience, so anybody who's into food business, it's our duty as a leadership to ensure and have a clean line drawn in our processes where it's very clearly demarcated to our processes and the manufacturing floors, to our quality control officers, to the entire ecosystem, that we will not give a substandard product to the consumer, period. Whether, and it holistically takes care of everything, whether quality part of it, safety part of it, and all the other aspects. There are two different things, quality and safety. You can safely package something, and a physical safety aspect, what my panelists from Haldiram said, we have detectors of metal detectors, everybody has that on the line. It's a physical aspect of it. But quality, how are you going to control? People are making adulterated stuff. Not giving the quality what a consumer should be eating as well. It's highly poisonous stuff going inside. Carcinogenic stuff going inside food products. Now the regulatories are enforcing it, but we are into food business. It's a self-conscious, it's a conscious awareness. It has to be under the lead, for the leadership, for the manufacturers. Yes, Mr. Bansal is very sensitive about the pricing part of it. Yes. So as far as, going back to my point, that until the customer is aware, he will pay 15 rupees for that small little 300 ml of water bottle rather than having a free glass of water. He's ready to pay for it. Why? Who has thought about 50 years back people will pay for water? And this is just 30 rupees bottle. You have Avian, you're drinking 150, 300 bucks, 500 ml bottle. 300 rupees. People are drinking it. You go to a 5-star hotel, they will serve you 750 rupees Himalayan mineral, I don't know which brand water which you have never seen and heard. It is the choice of a consumer. So if he's aware and he knows the benefits, he is ready to pay. So that's a duty commonly, and it's a common responsibility of companies, leaderships, government to make the consumer aware, and consumers are ready to pay if they experience the quality.
Hello. Gulrez, the responsibility of the companies is unquestionable. Ultimately, they are producing it and they have to be responsible. You talked about carcinogenic material. Dr. Komal, may I ask you one thing? Is single-use plastic harmful? If yes, how? Single-use plastic.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It
and
is
how?
carcinogenic, and probably if we are using it, probably the microplastics that are released from them, they get an excess into our gut. And they are like, if they are into our body, they can result into different like anti-carcinogenic properties, and that would be inhibited.
Absolutely. I think many of us know that single-use plastics we should not be using. A single show of hands, and if someone says that we have never used, or even when we go to buy groceries or vegetables, we don't take single-use plastics. Anyone who has really put a blanket ban on his own consumption of single-use plastic in the house? Not a single one. So while we know, forget customers, just 4 days back, Government of India refused to put a ban on the usage of single-use plastics in the global forum, that we cannot do it. I'm talking of the Government of India in a global forum. I'm talking of all the customers. So this is where, while the industry has a responsibility not to make single-use plastic, but you find it in every lane of every village of every India, every state. We have talked of leadership, we have talked of customer pull. Yes, it should be, but it is, maybe awareness is required so that the customer pull really is able to influence the production and the companies more than they are doing today. Means, as a food producer, I was really pained to see the Government of India not putting its foot down. That no, in India we cannot stop single-use plastics. Yes, it is harmful, but we cannot. So where does that leave the customer? And we talk of awareness and the responsibility of the state in making the customers aware. And I'm not talking of once upon a time, it was just 4 days back. Let's talk of technology and automation. Very relevant. Just to share, on technology and automation in the food sector, I was just going through. In the period till 2010 to 2012, 13, 14, 15, globally around 180 to 200 research papers were produced. And it was more or less static. Since 2019-20, since AI and robotics have come in, can anyone imagine how many research papers on the usage of automation in food sector are being produced? More than 2,000. More than 2,000. A 10 times increase because the academicians and the industry feel that we need the brains of academicians and the research to guide us. So there is a need. But to what extent is it relevant? Where is the line? Whether there is an ROI, etc. Now, before I throw it up to the panel, let me just share a very simple data. Very simple data. Not from the food sector, but how technology has evolved. But yes, Let us go back 110 years. I'm talking of year 1915. Ford cars were produced. How much time did it take to produce a Ford car? Anyone? 93 minutes. 93 minutes. Ford cars were good technologically for their times, then also. Today the cars are produced for the technology of today. How much time does it take to produce a car today? 20 to 24 hours. From 93 minutes, 110 years back to, well, in the panel, who would like to really take up, automation is necessary, but which automation is really, maybe robotics is not relevant, maybe, temperature sensors are not important. I'm into frozen food manufacturing. Temperature is very important, -18. All of us have had McCain chips. There is a precautionary line to be stored at -18 degrees or less. Everyone brings the chips, frozen fries, puts it in the freezer. What is the temperature of the freezer? Ice making, 0 degrees. So the moment the fries are bought from the store, they are out of guarantee, out of warranty, out of food safety norms. Now there are simple technologies available. A simple color changing temperature sensor. But even McCain, a global giant, can't put it because of the prohibitive cost. So this is where, till the time technology merges with the price that the customer can pay, it will keep evolving and evolving. And food sensors have been there for the last 8-10 years, yet they have not come in use. Anyone in the panel who would like to take? Yes, Dr. Tyagi.
Again, the automation will play the critical role. So I am going to be back about 30 years before or 20 years before. 20 years before in our company, we have started the brainstorming on the automation. And today, we have started the 100% automation of the Indian traditional snack. अब there is problem in the Indian traditional snack. Nobody is making bhujia worldwide. Nobody is making aloo bhujia worldwide. Nobody is making moong dal worldwide. Nobody is making the mixture worldwide. So there is no machine is available. No technology available the worldwide. Then how to do? This is R&D are also not very simple because nobody in India is going to be consultants. Then how we can make automatically bhujia? When you start the automatically making the bhujia, it will lose the texture. It will lose the texture. You can't make this. This is just like making by the batti. So we have really taken the journey of converting in the last 20 years from halwai to industry. How? We have gone worldwide in the USA, Holland. We have seen the similar machine and try to set our technology that, and we have transferred our food technology skill to the manufacturer worldwide. This is the trade secret. This is the temperature. This is the time. This is the pressure. How it is made. Suppose it is made by the hand. So this is the pressure. We have done all the measurement and discussed with the abroad with many manufacturers, maybe 10 to 20, and we have invested lot of the money and try to develop that automatic frying system or automatic handling system for making the bhujia and aloo bhujia. Again, you have to think that it requires the investment. And we have done the investment and we got the ROI also. How we got the ROI? I will try to convince you with a practical example. Suppose you are making any food product, especially Indian snack or Western snack. So there is element conversion cost. Conversion cost means fuel cost, electricity cost, labor cost, and consumable cost. Except the raw material and packaging material. Whatever your cost is coming your food will need, that is the conversion cost. And before 20 years, our conversion cost about 25 to 30 rupees per kg. Today, our conversion cost is rupees 9 per kg. So we have reduced our conversion cost by 60%. So what I want to say here, the automation is again a mindset, but if you do the investment, so today your cost will be seem to be high because you have invested the many crore. If you see the organization goal of the 10 years, so it is a peanut. Because this will decrease the significantly conversion cost, which is the major income to you. So you can make your price affordable to your customer and can increase the sale. And secondly, it will increase the productivity. Suppose by one batch fryer, you are making 500 kg per hour. But one continuous frying system, you are making 10 ton per hour, 4 ton per hour. So it increase the productivity, reduce the conversion cost, and if you come to the safety, today all the traditional snack plant are fully automatically with HMI control. Whatever sensor, they are connected with the SCADA. There is temperature range. If any, suppose we have set the temperature 180 and we put the plus minus 1. Suppose by chance the temperature will come 178, it will drop the product into rejected. And as soon as 179 will come, it will go to the line. So whatever we have done, it is connected, whatever temperature control, whatever our CPP control has been connected SCADA to the HMI, and full plant is fully operation, and it will require in the processing plant only 2 person. 3 ton per hour, 4 ton hour line require only 2 person just to see the computer, just to see the control point, just to see the CPP. So automation definitely require the investment, and it ROI 3 to 5 years depending upon your production. And it will take automatically safety of the food safety also. There will be consistency in the quality also, minimum human interference. And if you combine all the things, so automation is necessary of the organization. However, you can take the two philosophy. If your production is less, you can start with the semi-automation. As soon as your production will increase, you go for the automation. We have gone in the same way. As soon as our production was less, we have gone to the semi-automation. As soon as the production of the one line has increased, then we have gone the fully automation. So in our organization terms, or in my opinion, automation is the necessary requirement of the organization to satisfy your customer, to increase your profit, and to increase your productivity, to reduce your wastage, and also to increase the efficiency and to reduce the conversion cost. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tyagi. Shammi, coming from the rice industry, and you initially, when you gave your introduction, you talked of fortified rice. Now, fortified rice is one transformation that over the period has happened, right? Either in rice, where do you see this fortification going forward, you know? What is it that is the benchmark of the industry or we can achieve? And apart from rice, do you foresee any food product, anything where really the food has transformed India or the food has transformed itself?
Ashok sorry to interrupt you. Mr. Vipen Jain is here. Can we call him on stage?
Yes, please.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vipen Jain, CEO and founder from Fitspire. A big round of applause for him. Vipen ji is joining the panel here. Vipen ji, we all have been waiting for you. So great to have you here. Yeah, please continue, Ashok.
Well, coming back to your question, first of all, when you talk about fortification, government has done a mandatory for edible oils. In oils also we have to add vitamins, minerals as well. And in rice, it's by choice. When we say it's by choice, it's up to the brand owners or the industry owners that yes, you want to add it or not. So we are doing it deliberately. So when you say fortification at times, you know, it's transition to changes as well, taste as well. In flour, in chakki atta, so there are brands who do fortification in chakki atta as well. But at times the texture of the roti, texture of the, you know, the broken wheat is not that good. So it all depends on which processed food you are adding the vitamins, you are adding the minerals. And as you said, where the industry transition is going, I think after COVID and while COVID, we saw everybody became home chef. Sabko ghar pe, matlab, everybody was making different pakoras or different samosas at home. So I think now in the industry, like since we have also launched ready to cook, that's by the brand name of Indimix. So now in the industry, people want ease of cooking. So from the traditional grocery company or from a traditional groceries which consumer is buying, now these days, the industry has shifted to ease of cooking with respect to maybe it's ready to cook, ready to eat, and also convenience of buying. I think who knew before that in 10 minutes you will get rice or oils at home from Zepto, Blinkit or Instamart. So industry is transforming in a big way, not with respect to just the taste and the choice of the product, with also the channel, the supply chain as well. So, yeah.
Thank you. Vipen, we missed you. Nevertheless, we have
First
a
of
few
all,
minutes.
apologies to everyone. I was stuck in traffic jam. Prime Minister of India, he is traveling to Bombay. So the entire Dhola Kuan was choked.
So you had esteemed company on the way.
My apologies again, so sorry.
Vipen, a little change and a little modification of the question we have done, but we would like to hear your experience on that. As CEO of Fitspire, you know, what has been the importance of strategic leadership decisions? What I'm saying is where you have buckled the trend or and especially with respect to automation. For example, today practically everything can be automated. Even our voiceovers can be automated. Everything can be robotized and automated, right? But where is the line? Where is the goal?
I think, firstly, what Fitspire do, so we are a health wellness brand, largely focusing on family health and nutrition, catering to age starting from 5 to 65-year-old, catering to all categories of nutrition, starting from sports nutrition, healthy snacking, sexual wellness, general health wellness, skincare and everything. In terms of automation, I think automation plays an important role. However, automation and technology should be enhanced, should be used to enhance the business, but not to change the manpower. So people requirement, skill requirement will always be there. Automation should be used to enhance the process, to build up the process. Now, while when we started our journey 5 years back, we were largely driving the process manually. As the COVID came in, everything became digital, and with that digital approach, we also changed our approach in terms of bringing customer to our website or to our platform. Also, how technology has helped us in terms of building our business. We have used multiple tools to bring customer satisfaction, whether it is a CRM process or whether it is anything which customer require. And today's customer is very, very educated, so he understands the product, he understands the marketing, he understands everything. So you have to be very, very transparent in all that sense. So automation, yes, it helps.
Okay, a specific thing. As we said, you can practically automate anything today. Any conscious call that you have taken that, okay, this particular automation or this particular thing, we don't require as on date, maybe at some point in the future we'll see?
I think AI is playing a very, very important role. When we get a call from our customer, or when customer is speaking to us, he wanted to understand what is happening in his body from a health supplement perspective, that what he should buy, what he should take, what should be intake and everything. Everything is a manual process right now, but I think going forward, which we are also building up, we are building up a technology where customer can feed his data, and on a day-to-day basis, we can tell that, okay, this is your requirement and this is what you should intake. So there are tools which we are trying and implementing. Hopefully we should be success. So yes, automation will help us.
Thank you. Dr. Komal, let us conclude with you. Being on the research side as well as the outreach of your research side, being the dean. What do you frankly think where we are today as a society in terms of food habits and food safety? And where do we need to be? When can we reach there? I mean, just a general perspective about from here till where, by when?
we are like agricultural powerhouse and the top leaders of the staple foods and the horticultural products and an emerging food sector, wherein we are producing and seeing the growth of the value-added products. The best part is the support or the initiative is driven by the government of India. Along with that, there is a huge potential for the export markets and with the technological advancement as AI is being integrated. So we are able to achieve the food security, but not the nutritional security by now. So we need to become self-reliant in terms of safe, I would suggest like SNFA, that is safe, nutritious, fortified and affordable nutrition, where we want to reach there. Second is like we want to become a global hub for the food, wherein like the footprints, or we need to expand our horizon for the quality and the nutritious food products. We should have a focused innovation wherein the industry and the academic institutes the linkage has to be strengthened, otherwise that is where we are lagging behind. And if we strengthen this linkage, probably we will be able to achieve that sustainable development goals of like zero hunger, valorization of the waste material, and to eradicate the malnutrition. Along with that, we need to strengthen the international partnerships or collaborations there so that we achieve the balance between the nutritional security and the food security.
Thank you, Dr. Komal. We are already running out of time. But before I conclude the session, I really want to request all of you just one thing. This was a discussion, CXO panel on food safety. No one can do anything till we all are not aware. Let us try. Everyone gets packaged food. Let us try to start reading the labels behind. I mean, whatever, how much is the calories, or what is the pathogen content, or what are the ingredients. When there is an INS written, INS 415, that is a chemical thickener. So let us start. Google gives you everything, but let us start reading the labels, at least try. Even if 10% of us start trying for that, I think that would be a big step in increasing consumer awareness. I think our panel members would agree to that. Thank you, everyone.
Consumer is king, boss.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our wonderful CXO panel here. I request all the CXOs to kindly have your seat. And can we have another big round of applause for them? Fantastic panel session on food processing and untapped growth opportunity. And what a wonderful session we had with Gulrez Alamji, Dr. A.K. Tyagi ji, Vipen Jain ji joining us, Professor Komal Chauhan from NIFTEM KUNDLI, Shammi Agarwal ji, and Ashok Bansal ji wonderfully moderating the session. Now, before we wrap up and we proceed to the felicitation of the honorable panel members, any questions? I think we can take one or maximum two questions if it is there. So any questions for the panel members? If yes, please do raise your hand. We will provide the mic to you. And please keep it very brief because the time is on short supply here. And you can introduce yourself, your organization, and question to which specific panel member. Any questions from the audience? Yeah.
They are the most aware consumers. They don't need to ask. If they would want to, please go ahead.
Sir, in the era of AI and automation, ठीक है sir, कि हम automation and all the benefits related to automation की sustainability आती है, profitability आती है, अच्छी quality, food safety, cost sustainability, all those things are there in automation. But what about कि आगे हमारी population right now we are 145 crores. आगे 2050 में we will 170 crores, then the growth will come कि उसके बाद 170 करोड़ के बाद हम वापस जाएंगे. तो unemployment और ये automation में unemployment again lead to criminal activities. It is directly proportional to.
बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. So I'll just cut it short here.
हाँ, तो आगे क्या इसको देखते हैं?
मैं आपको क्वेश्चन समझ गया सर. सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. ऑटोमेशन से एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन, ख़त्म हो जाता है, राइट? ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं, ऐसा है ही नहीं. Automation does not replace manpower. At some cases, yes, but people have a different role to play after that. They would take up a different job after that. They would be more aware and do some other role, perform a different role in the organization or in their life. It is not taking anybody's life and job. आप ऐसी बात कर रहे हो जब टाइपराइटर आया था, कंप्यूटर आया था, टाइपिस्टों की जॉब चली गई, अनएम्प्लॉय हो गए. क्या सारे एम्प्लॉय हो गए? लोगों ने सीखा ना कंप्यूटर चलाना, तो कंप्यूटर चलाने लगे. एग्जैक्ट, एनीथिंग टू डू विद दैट. तो ये कंसेप्ट, मेरे खुद के एक आर्किटेक्ट थे, आज से 30 साल पुरानी बात बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको. ही वॉज वेरी वेल नोन टू मी. उनके सारे आर्किटेक्ट्स ने कैड कैम यूज़ करना शुरू किया था. ड्राइंग टेबल्स हट गई थी, ड्राइंग बोर्ड्स हट गए थे. वो इतने इंटेलेक्चुअल बनना चाहते थे कि मैं तो हटाऊंगा नहीं अपने ऑफिस से, ड्राइंग बोर्ड्स कैड कैम यूज़ नहीं करूँगा, मुझे इसी में मज़ा आता है. एंड टुडे ही इज़ नोवेयर. So you have to adopt to the growing world and the technology.
अलग चीज है सर कि मुझे
See,
मुझे
this is
AI
just
पसंद नहीं
this
है.
is automation only. If you don't understand CAD/CAM, is nothing but automation of drawings. So my
Yes,
friend,
yes, Tyagi
anything
sir.
to do with technology and automation is going to enhance the quality, productivity. Will never take away jobs. Jobs will be replaced, not lost. I had the same question asked by the Transport Ministry in Transport Bhavan 22 years back in the era of Congress, when we were trying to implement the automation on highways. They said कि हमारे बंदे नौकरी कहाँ करेंगे, अब तक टोल नहीं काटेंगे. Today, Modi government, 2014 onwards, we have FASTag. Where are we? Is it ease for the people who are driving, or you still want to be queued in the lanes on the highways paying tolls? That's automation, my friend. People have not lost their jobs. Right? There are jobs created for building those automations. People are now installing those RF sensors by printing those cards. So there is no energy lost or destroyed, right? If you're a science student. So if it's not utilized here, it will be utilized somewhere else. So with that, I'll end the question. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Gulrez-ji. Panel members, kindly be on the stage. I would now like to call on stage Mr. Vikram Kelkar, Managing Director from Hexagon Nutrition, to kindly do the honors of felicitating our wonderful panel of CXOs here. Vikramji, please welcome to the stage. We will start the felicitation with Gulrez Alamji, Managing Director and Founder from NBF Agro and Foods. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gulrez Alam, Managing Director and Founder from NBF Agro and Foods, for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Thank you so much, Gulrez-ji. Moving next, Dr. A.K. Tyagi, Executive Director, Haldiram Snacks. A big round of applause to Dr. Tyagi. Thank you so much, Tyagi-ji, for your wonderful contribution in the panel. Joining next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Professor Komal Chauhan, Dean Research and Outreach from NIFTEM KUNDLI. A big round of applause to Professor Komal Chauhan for a wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving next, Mr. Shammi Agarwal, Director, Pansari Group. A big round of applause to Mr. Shammi Agarwal for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to our honorable moderator, Mr. Ashok Bansal, co-founder and CEO from Myints Common Services. A big round of applause to Ashok Bansal-ji for wonderfully moderating this panel session. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving next to Mr. Vipen Jain, CEO and founder from Fitspire. A big round of applause to Mr. Vipen Jain for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Would request the honorable panel members to kindly step forward for a group photograph, and Vikramji, if you could also join them. A big thank you to the esteemed panelists here for that wonderful knowledge sharing session on food processing, an untapped growth opportunity, and a wonderful expert panel session we heard for the last 15 minutes. Thank you so much, panel members, for your valuable time and contribution.